sweat on the ground. My heart is broken, my heart falls apart. Words unspoken, for I don't know where to start. But before I could open up, you already knew my heart. Creator of everything. They enjoy the trample on my face, and when I hear my name, what a disgrace. Oh, that I knew where I must find it, that I might come even to receive, creator of everything, 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 creator of everything. A thousand shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but they shall not come nigh thee. Only what thine eyes shall thou behold, and see the reward of the wicked.
Creator of everything, creator of everything, creator of everything, creator of everything, everything.
Creator of everything. Surely he shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover me with his feathers, and under his wings shall I trust. His truth shall be my shield and buckler.
Creator of everything, creator of everything, creator of everything, everything, creator of everything, creator of everything, everything. Alright. And I had said some things, excuse me, before I started it, but then everything went dead over here and I had to restart it, so I just restarted it with the song. But I want to go right into these videos now. This one right here I came across because, you know, I've been reading the comments, and y'all was when I did that one on that Conor McGregor, that FTM that's fighting in the UFC, I had a lot of flack. You know what I'm saying? A lot of flack in the comments. And then somebody said they got a cousin called Moron, right? And I'm like, do they think we a moron? Because I looked up, it was the Dylan Moron. I looked him up, and Dylan is looking fishy. I'm just going to tell you straight out. And Dylan is definitely the moron, your cousin, over there working with Conor McGregor. Yeah, I'm seeing all type of signs of double puppetry up in Dylan. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you straight out how I feel about it, so you can go ahead and look it up for yourself, because I know signs, symbols. I know when I look and I see, and I'm just watching them. And another thing, also, y'all think that these damn deceivers don't have relatives out here? Because I come from the tribe. I come from the original sellout tribe. I think I done made a video about that. I come from the original sellout tribe, right here, within my own family. Devil lovers, devil puppets, you know, all right up in there. So don't think because, you know, this one claimed to be a cousin or something. You know, your family members done sold out way before you got here. And that's why they still doing whatever they doing and however they doing it. And when you pull that fog shit out your eyes, you'll be able to see what the hell is going on around you. And then you'll see that the biologicals, yeah, some of your biologicals are deep in devil work. Okay? So there's that with that. So telling me that any one of these here ones is a biological and they're associating with the, excuse me, with the well-known devils, oh well, they're trying to get in, or they in, you just don't know they in, and I guess they got to move their way in slowly, you know, like how they grow them up and make you love them. Anyway, we're not gonna keep on talking on that, but I'm looking at the moron and I'm thinking, I'm not a moron, and nobody that can see damn truth is a moron. So I'm thinking about that with the Dylan, and then I'm gonna get back to that. But it led me to look at this shit right here, the world's first transgender bodybuilders. Let's take a look at this right here. Get several buckets, bags, whatever you need, because it's sickening. But let's go. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Hold on one sec. Yeah, because I told y'all I watch a lot of stuff in mute, because I like to look at things, you know, not let other stuff affect my thinking, like sound and shit. So sometimes you just need to look at shit. But hold on, okay. Let's get it back. And here we go.
I knew I was different.
Okay.
And a lot of whispering and a lot of pointing and laughing. It's kind of hard to explain. It's just I never felt like a female.
I'm just gonna stop it right here. Okay? This one said she never felt like a damn female. Look, it was a beautiful baby. It was a beautiful little girl. And now look at what the fuck is it? What is this? Okay? What in the fuck is this right here? This shit is sickening. It's nothing to... I'm sorry. I might have to get my own damn bucket. Look at this shit. Alright. Okay.
Sean Simpson was the winner my first computer.
Look at this shit right here. Just look at this right here. I'm just saying, you know, they broadcasting this and they're beautifying it. Look, is that the scar? Hold on. Is this the scar right here? What they used when they was trying to go in there and try to make a little Adonis belt and stuff? Was this the scar? Because this shit up here is sickening. It's horrifying. Y'all couldn't even cocoa butter this or cream this down or nothing? Nothing? I mean, just leave it wide open like that for the people to see and everything? This shit is sickening. It's already sick. Look at the work. It's horrifying. Okay, I'm going to be quiet. Okay.
It means a lot to me that someone like Sean, who is a straight trans man, to be able to come and say, hey, I'm trans and here's my body. My definition of being transgender is being born in the wrong body. I was very depressed as a child. So
I don't understand why in the fuck you not depressed right now. You know what I'm saying? This is the shit that pisses me off with the people. This one here was depressed and every damn thing as a little girl, born as a beautiful little girl and everything. A beautiful, look at the eyes. Look at the beautiful eyes. Right? Born natural. But no, you know what? That wasn't right. And instead, they rather go and mutilate and horrify, mutilate, just destroy the natural beauty that is them to become these things here. And I don't see what is y'all looking at? I'm sorry. I'm literally getting sick. But what is y'all looking at? Because how is this okay? And then, you know, this is what they put on the fucking devices so the children can watch this in their confusion. You know, after they finish watching Snow White, a drag man in a dress, princesses and shit. And then they run across this one. And they... Okay.
Suicidal. It's not that I didn't want to express it. I didn't even know.
Wait a minute.
I went
Let's go back. Listen.
Being born in the wrong body. I was very depressed as a child. Suicidal. It's not that I didn't want to express it. I didn't even know where to be. The same year I graduated. And when I left home, that was the most relief that I've ever had in my life. I had decided from that day forward, I'm going to be myself. Over in Iraq, you're either going to be a movie head, you're going to sleep all day, or you're going to work out. And I chose to work out. And my main focus was my chest. Like, you know what? If I went to the beach, I would be able to walk around without a shirt on. I was transitioning without really...
First of all, when you can see them, there's no way in the fuck that they can be right in front of you in your sight without the CGI, in your vision, in front of you, and you can't tell a trans man from a real man. There's no way in the fuck that's gonna happen, okay? They can say all this shit they want to and build up all the chest muscle they want to, unless you out there, you know, chipped or drugged. There's no way that these ones here can fool you. The natural man seeing a natural woman, you know what a natural woman looks like. A natural woman seeing a natural man knows what a natural man look like. You don't encounter, well, now you will start seeing more and more and more and more, because I've just been bombarded in my little perimeter, an area of where I'm at, with all of them in various stages of this disgustation. You know what I'm saying? It's disgustation is what the fuck it is. But there's no way that they can be in front of you and you not be able to tell a man from a woman, or transgendering, or whatever it is. Because as soon as you look, you're going to see it. It's just that obvious. The only reason why we can't see it, a lot of us can't see it when we watching these devices and stuff, is because, you know, they got lighting and CGI and all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? They know what to do, and musical shit to play with your subliminal and all type of shit. So it takes your focus off. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way in the fuck, if they were standing directly in front of you, that you could not see the obvious. So I just wanted to stress that.
Knowing I was transitioning, We have people that have no surgery, no top surgery, and they still show up and take it all out. So everybody should go on to this film like they're number one. Nothing less. Number one.
I'd like to invite all the men on stage at this time to line up for their mandatory poses. Contestant number 2, Sean
I just want you to notice the little body, the little arms, the little T-Rex syndrome going on. I just want you to take a real good look at the body, at the structure of the body. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to look at that. Look what they're showing you. These are obvious ones that are female that have taken hormones to turn their body into little fake boys and everything. But I want you to take note of everything. Look at everything. You know, and I don't trust them. You know, they tell us one thing and show us another.
I'm proud to be where they are at the moment. And I'm proud to show it to the world.
Your first place overall winner, Sean Stinson.
And you see they all have penises. Well, not all of them, but what is the fuck is this here? Right here. They make penises. And this one done went all the way over. FTM off. And there's the penis. And look at the belly. Okay? Look at the belly. Look at how the chest looks. Okay? So when you start seeing these ones that you love, all these ones in sports, your UFC, your UFC fighters and everything, and you all like, take note of these open females transforming into males, taking hormones to change their body, to change the way they build muscle. You know what I'm saying? They're taking these pills and shit to change the way that they build muscle, but they cannot change their built, the way they're built. Look at this. This is straight breast right here. And look right here. This one just got mastectomized. Okay? So look at the curve right there. Look, with a fucking beard. Okay? But look at this curve right here. Look at this. Look, notice the body shapes. This one done went and did some extra stuff right here on the side right here. The fakeness. Okay? Because these are females. Look at this. And look, they can get a little penis. I already told y'all I have those videos on my channel on BitChute, Provoke Child, the M to F and the F to M, because they make penises and vaginas now. They've been doing it for a while.
Someone had to ask me the question 5 years ago. If you had a choice, would you change it? Not a thing.
All right. Just look at that right there. Look at that little girl. And I'm just thinking, you know, every parent, you have a little girl, and that little girl tell you, I'm trapped. I feel trapped. Your little girl. And then you want to untrap them and turn them into that thing right there that we just seen. And I'm sorry, you know, I should use better words and shit, but that's all the fuck I can say is those things and it's. And look at this. I'm just saying, how in the hell you get from a beautiful baby girl and then you get trapped and then you get, this is how you get untrapped. Look at this. Look at this. This, I mean, it's a sickness. I think it's some type of fucking possession. Demonic possession. But you know. Anyway. That was one of the videos I wanted to go through. And look at. Because you need to be aware of them. Aware of these transformers out here. You know what I'm saying? And the ones that you love. The idols. Because all of them. All of those males that they show you are actually FTMs. You know what I'm saying? Raised from birth. Taking hormones with the cereal. That's how them devils do it. That's why you can't tell them apart. That's why you don't know what the fuck you're looking at. Uh-oh. There they go messing with stuff. Hold on. Wait a second. I think it's here. I tell you, anytime I had all this stuff set up, but I tell you, anytime I try to do something, here they go. Hold on. Oh, there it is. There it is. And I like to download them because it depends on what device I'm on. I get all these fucking commercials or whatever. But if I download it, we can just get right into it. Okay, so hold on. Here we go.
Whoa. Lucifer in the flesh. Do you know how many journalists would kill? Wait, you probably do. First, I want to say thank you to agreeing to this interview. Very busy person.
Yes. I usually like to fly under the radar. But I figured, since I'm already on the campaign trail, why not?
Okay. First, let's talk about your reign. Now, you've had a fairly long one. What would you attribute to your success and popularity?
Oh, that's easy. Every generation is the same. I appeal to their lust and ego. I offer all the sex, wealth, and fame a person could want. Do as thou wilt has been my campaign slogan from the start. And my campaign platform hasn't changed either. I run on the same three issues every generation. Lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life.
Oh, let's rewind that. Because that is exactly what's taking down humanity right now. Lust. Lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, lust. And they're using sexual and sexuality and sex and gender and sex. Everything is sexual and genderfied. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it is. I say a lot of times, like, I don't understand how the humans, the peoples, don't see what is taking them down. It's the same shit that they give them in all them holy books and tell them what is this or what is that. But it's all common sense because we're born knowing what the fuck is right and what the fuck is wrong. You know, and then they just reiterate it for us and write it down to remind us and then throw it right at us and we fall right for it. That's what is fucking up the world. Lust of the flesh, of the eyes. Manipulation of the mind with lust of the flesh and the eyes to the point of perversion. And you accept it and embrace it. And you know what's wrong? Okay.
Either. I run on the same three issues every generation. lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and pride of life.
Okay. When you say lust of the flesh, what exactly do you mean?
Come on now. What do I mean? Isn't it obvious? I just use humans' own innate physical desires against them. And since sexual desire seems to be the most powerful, I usually run with that. Now, I didn't create sex, but I must say I've done a superb job at perverting it. Take one.
That's exactly right. Perversion is the perversion of an act that may be natural or not. I don't know. Because if in the beginning women were procreating by themselves, when did the act of a sexual act even come into play? And what was the purpose of it? Because if women produce babies by themselves, like the chicken produces eggs, what was the purpose of the whole sexual act? All right.
Pornography, for example. Well, you should know a lot about this one, Ivan. Weren't you addicted to porn?
This interview is about you, not about me. Can we get back on subject?
Okay, and what I was saying, perversion. It's the perversion of the act. So that's what makes me question what is the purpose of the sexual act. Now, today, we need the sexual act for reproduction. But in the beginning, when women were populating the earth without the sexual act for reproduction, what was the purpose of the sexual act? And because the sexual act was brought to us and given to us because it was the only way to procreate now, then of course they can use it as a perversion. And they have perverted it in every way imaginable. Not only is the act within male-female, but now they want to perverse the act in ages of the male and female. Then they want to perverse the act into animals and the humans. You know what I'm saying? And then innate objects and the humans. The perversity is just overwhelming. The perversity of the one act that was supposed to be about reproduction. But then we know in the beginning the act was not necessary at all. All right.
Now, where was I?
Oh,
yeah. What I do is gradually get someone addicted to porn. And once lust has had its full work and he and she can no longer restrain themselves, they usually look to act out their fantasies on someone. And sometimes that someone is a child. Now, my plan...
You see what I'm saying? I'm watching this interview the first time right along with y'all. But the perversion is always what they want to incorporate in the act. And the first thing this thing is talking about is the children. In this reenactment that they're doing right now, but this one here with this here makeup and shit on. Because in Wicked, in the truest form, don't look like this. Okay? They look like that yellow glowing light that they want you to fall in love with. That yellow halo. They look like that in their truest form. And all of this here shit here, you see the horns on the head and all this extra shit, that's just distraction, diversion, and something to promote the fear. Okay? Alright.
My plan plays out perfectly. That abused child will eventually turn to a life of promiscuity and perversion themselves, allowing me to continue my vicious cycle. And here's the kicker. Many of those abused girls end up right in the porn industry. Now, how's that for
That's another thing I say too. You know, just like this thing said just now, which is supposed to be portraying, what is it, Lucifer? I say, you know, I don't understand this. They say a young boy, he gets molested, and then he gets molested, and then, you know, that scars him. But then after he gets molested by another man, he decides to be gay. So that don't make fucking sense to me, because if you got molested in this act and it was a horrifying act and you were so disturbed and perturbed, then why in the fuck would you grow up and then decide to do this act for the rest of your life? Keep repeating it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying this because my father, Reverend Pedophile, was a pedophile. Molested me. That was my first sexual encounter. You know what I'm saying? So why in the fuck would I want to grow up and then relive someone restraining me and taking advantage of me every day for the rest of my life? That don't make sense to me. And then it shows you how they can distort and fuck up the brain. They can, you know? But it don't have to be so, because I'm here living proof right here, showing you when these things happen to you in your life, you don't have to succumb to these shits. You need to see what the fuck is going on. Decide what you're going to do. Is you going to sit down and cry about it and then leap and fall into that whole shit that this one is talking about, the whole persuasion of perversion and every type of shit, and succumb to the weakestness and the weak side of shit? Or is you gonna buck up and be like, these is demons and this is what the fuck is going down? Why we here, why we go through this, we don't know that part. But while we here and we going through this, what is we gonna do? Fall down? Excuse me. Is we gonna fall down? Or is we going to stand the fuck up? So that's where I'm at with that. But let's continue.
The second thing you had mentioned, I believe, you said lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes. Mm-hmm. Can you elaborate?
Humans are never satisfied. You always crave more. Bigger house, bigger car, more money, more power. The list goes on and on. I just take their natural ambitious desire, pervert it, and use it against them for their own.
First of all, materialistic shit is not our natural desire. It is a desire that was thrown upon us because we're here and all we see is materialistic shit, and they've given us everything to desire, you know. And lust of the eyes is more understandable when you go outside and you see how our young children are dressing and how they made it fashionable for our young girls to have no modesty. None. Okay? How they made the female have no modesty to come out and basically be 2 shreds of naked. No modesty. Okay.
Their own destruction. My plan is to allow them to never be content. As long as I can keep them craving what others have, I can depend on them to argue, fight, even kill to get it. Humans are so easily tricked into jealousy. And you know what they say? Jealousy is as cruel as the grave.
Yes, I have.
That's another thing too. They want to say that the human is so easily tricked. The human, us, the children of creation, we're not easily tricked. That's why the fuck they meet us at the womb with shots. That's why they meet us at the womb with shots. That's why they spray shit in the air all the time. That's why they drug the fucking food, the water, the toothpaste, the lotions, the creams, every fucking thing. If we were so easily tricked, they wouldn't have to do none of that. We're not easily tricked. We're not stupid. We're not dumb. We are the superior beings. And that's why they do all of this shit. That's why they give us all this technology, keep us in shit from babies and shit. That's why they do all the shit that they do, because we are the superior beings. We are not weak fucks, and it takes a lot to distort us or confuse us. That's why everything is fucking tainted here. Every fucking thing. They know what they're doing. You need to be aware of what they're doing. And then you need to know who the fuck you are. We're not easily broken. We're not. But here, we're highly manipulated. From the time we hit Earth, they meet us, like I say, with a fucking fork and a shot. Either they're going to shoot us up or they're going to eat us. It's just as simple as that.
I've heard that before. The last thing you had mentioned was, I believe, Pride of Life. Now, how does this fit into your campaign platform?
First of all,
Humans are always on a quest for knowledge. I picked the first humans to seek carnal knowledge over godly wisdom. And it's worked like a charm every generation since. With more knowledge comes more pride. And you know pride is my spirit.
and see, that's another thing right there. This thing right here is saying, the more we know, we'll get prideful. No, the more we know is what the fuck we need to know. The truth of things, we need to know all of the fucking truth. All of it. We don't need no more CGIs. We don't need no more damn movies and songs and shit. We don't need no bullshit. We need to know all of the truth. And all of the truth is not going to make us prideful. It's going to make us know what the fuck is going on and who the fuck we are and what the fuck we need to be doing. And that's why a lot of knowledge is hidden from us. You know. In fact, anything of what a human soul should know, we're not knowing none of that from them. None of that from what? Reality TV? From who the fuck go marry somebody else? From the dumb news? From what? These idols they give us, they don't tell us shit. They make songs, clothes, shoes, movies, shows, nothing of fucking importance. Nothing. Nothing they give us is of any fucking importance. We don't need a fucking clothes, shoes, a song. We don't need none of that shit. None of that. But that's what they give us. Cartoons, dumb shit. Okay.
My specialty. And since humans don't like to keep God in their wisdom, I'm able to seduce them with all types of things to help puff up their ego. Lately, fame has been my biggest seller. Who doesn't like attention and feeling more important than the next person? Once I make them famous, I can really use them to promote my agenda.
And that's not working with none of us, because you know what? We don't never get famous like them. You know what I'm saying? But it is an agenda, because that's what they give you. They show you their family members. And, you know, they raise them to put on shows and perform, you know. And they tell you, you can do that too. Or you can be that too. And then what they do, strip you of all your humanity down to your soul. And then you can do that. I keep going back to, they give us every fucking thing to love. And then the dumb shit that they give us to love, that's what they fucking use to manipulate and destroy us. And why the fuck we can't see that? And fame, I don't understand why the humans just keep running to be famous for the fuck what? Famous of what? Famous to do a fucking what? A show? Perform? For what? I mean, why? That's like lottery to me. Why the fuck is there a lottery? For what? Why? A lot of extra dumb shit going on Earth, and I'm like, why? Okay.
With their help, I convinced half of the world to not only accept sin, but to celebrate it.
They love it. That's why we got holidays.
You know what has been my most enjoyable pride campaign to date?
No, what?
Well, my gay pride campaign, of course. Not only do I get the chance to promote your own self-destruction, I get to use God's logo, the rainbow, to do it. Love is love, right? My plan not only prevents you worthless humans from reproducing, it distorts the gender roles and allow me to bring all types of chaos and confusion.
That's another thing I said too. You know, everybody's all like, oh, gay is the way, and let them be them. And then on the other hand, they all like, oh my God, the Georgia Stones and depopulation, they're gonna kill us all. But then on the other hand, you guys are like, oh yeah, gay is the way, and yeah, I think I might be gay and all type of bullshit. But gay is the way to no more poppin' fucking lation. That's what gay is the way to. And I don't understand why the fuck that's so hard to see. If two men be together, there's no creation. If two women are together, there's no creation. Because back in the day, somewhere in between the time of we was doing it on our own, they made it so we couldn't. And now they're making it so that we don't want to now because we in love with the same sex. It's the depopulation. It's the first depopulation. And now we got the shots and shit. So there you go. Because you take 3 or more, your ass is sterile.
Fusion upon your pathetic societies. It's been so successful. I've got men convinced they're women. Women convinced they're men. And some convinced they're no gender at all.
There you go.
And I've got 2 more Pride Initiative campaigns I'd like to introduce in the near future.
Really? I'm guessing you probably want me to ask you what they are, right?
Well, first, it's abortion pride. Now, I think we can pull this off.
That's another shit right there. I never thought that it would be a time where women would run to kill children, to kill their babies, But all they've been showing us on the news is drag men talking about. That's all they show us all the time. Drag men having miscarriages, fake women having miscarriages, fake women talking about how they need to have abortions because this, that, and the other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still at the point of why in the fuck is there abortion? And why is the fuck is there a reason for a woman to have an abortion? And why in the fuck is we in a world where we are just not wanting to have our children and have a reason to not want to have our children? You know what I'm saying? I'm right there with that part. While y'all legalizing shit, because I believe no baby needs to be killed, And don't let me stand up here like I'm not on earth and I've not lived on earth. I've had abortion. I've had 2 abortions. You know what I'm saying? I'm not proud of it. But I don't hide what the fuck I have done and how I am here on earth. But I'm saying, why we in a earth that's a choice? There's reasons, Well, why? Why are we not on the earth where we can just have babies and live off the land and not worry about no dumb shit? But we don't. And we're not. And we're here, And we have to deal with all of this bullshit. All right.
Society is definitely ready for it. I've enlisted to help a Planned Parenthood to work with marketing and promotion.
Planned Parenthood.
And all we'll have to do is silence the so-called abolitionists and pro-lifers, because the rest of the church doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
Second is pedophilia pride. Now, society might not be ready for this one just yet, so we'll hold off. I need to desensitize them a little more before we introduce it.
Okay. Let's change gears for a minute and talk about policy. Some may consider your policies destructive, dangerous even. What would be your response to that? What would you say to your detractors?
All of my policies are aimed to do one of 3 things: either steal, kill, or destroy. And if it's not doing one or all 3 of those things, then it's not my agenda, and I'm not promoting it.
Okay. I'm happy you said that. It seems as if you promote your agenda differently to different ethnicities. If so, why?
Of course, I'd be a fool not to. Take black people, for instance. As a people, there's...
Hold on, before we go back to take the black people, I'm going to have to rewind that.
Campaigns I'd like to introduce in the near future.
Really? I'm guessing you probably want me to ask you what they are, right?
Well, first, it's abortion pride. Now, I think we can pull this off. Society is definitely ready for it. I've enlisted to help a Planned Parenthood to work with marketing and promotions. And all we'll have to do is silence the so-called abolitionists and pro-lifers, because the rest of the church doesn't seem to care. And second is pedophilia pride. Now, society might not be ready for this one just yet, so we'll hold off. I need to desensitize them a little more before we...
And they've been desensitizing the humans to pedophilia, because look at the idols that they have given us. You know, country music singers, R&B singers. You know, folks love them, and they come on the scene as pedophiles. You know, they come on the scene, first of all, they come on the scene in the wrong gender, like your Elvis, your R. Kelly, all females. They come on the scene, and then they grab up these little boys, like Aaliyah, and the rest of whatever. And they show you pedophilia right in your fucking face, and you overlook that, and then fall in love with the idol. And you dismiss the fact that these idols came showing you that they were pedophiles.
Before we introduce it.
Okay. Let's change gears for a minute and talk about policy.
Ricky Lee Lewis.
Some may consider your policies destructive, dangerous even. What would be your response to that? What would you say to your detractors?
All of my policies are aimed to do one of three things: either steal, kill, or destroy. And if it's not doing one or all three of those things, then it's not my agenda, and I'm not promoting it.
Okay. I'm happy you said that. It seems as if you promote your agenda differently to different ethnicities. If so, why?
Of course, I'd be a fool not to. Take black people, for instance. As a people, they're super spiritual, so I can't really convince them that there is no God. What I have been able to do as of late is convince him that he's not the God of the Bible. Now, I've been real successful at promoting black consciousness and Islam in their communities.
I'm so happy you mentioned black people. It seems as if we've been at the very top of your agenda for quite some time. Why is that?
A few reasons. Black people help me reach the masses. Now, as you know.
First of all, that's the division right there. That's the division. And, you know, I got my own theories on this colorization of the uniforms, you know. And I'm just thinking like, maybe, you know, and then watching some of these movies that they have where they show how they have, you know, kept diluting the race, and it seems to start with the ones of darker complexion, melanin or whatever, and then slowly diluting that and then making the races. So I got that in the back of my mind too, you know, but I don't want to promote division of the souls. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm still at what the souls are encased in is irrelevant, you know. But you know, evidently they want us to see relevancy in encasement, you know, in these uniforms, you know. So that's a rabbit hole and something that I got to keep figuring out, you know. But it's all about division, and my thing is, why are you trying to divide up the souls based on the colorizations of the uniform?
I was over music in heaven. My beats were so dope, I got over a third of the angels to follow me. Mm-hmm. And once I got here to the earth.
This one said his beats were so dope that it got over a third of the angels to follow it. And so that makes me think like, what is music here doing now to the beings? What is the purpose of the music here? If this one was in charge of the music, and here we have idolatry and worship over the ones that they give us based on their abilities to promote this music, what the fuck is the music doing to us, the beings?
I needed artists and entertainers to help me promote my message here. Who better than black people? Black people possess all the natural rhythm and music ability that I need.
And that's another thing too. Is the black people possess, or is it the souls that possess everything? And just because you called out the uniforms of the souls, is it that? Because music, if you look at music here, look at the people providing any type of musical anything. You have musical culture, musical things from every race of people. Every uniform has some type of musical something. So is it a soul thing to be musical, to be in tune with that? Or is it a uniform colorization thing? Because that's what this thing is saying. It's based on the uniform colorization and not the soul. Okay. All right.
It's easy for me to influence them with money since so many of them grew up without it. Another reason
it's easy to manipulate the beings if you put them in a setting where they have to act a certain way. Because here, what I've noticed in my 53 years is every place is laid out in a certain way for the beings to act a certain way and to be a certain way. And so that's why they have all of this shit, so that they can put us in these settings, all the beings, regardless of the colorization of the uniforms.
And I target black people is because they're strong mentally and physically. If black men were to ever find their identity in Christ, I'd be in trouble.
This one said to find the identity in Christ. Okay, so this is a joint effort right here to fuck you up. Okay, but if you was ever to find your identity in your soul being, then yeah, we'll fuck them up. But it's hard to find your true identity in your soul being when you're eating everything that they've drugged to keep you dormant, or when they meet you at the womb with a shot to keep you dormant, when now all that they're publicizing is for you to get more shots to turn you into complete zombies, so you know nothing at all. Okay.
So I try my best to destroy the black family structure and keep black men away from his family and the church. Drugs and incarceration are a couple of my more popular means.
And this thing ain't lying, because drugs are fucking up the souls. Drugs are fucking up the souls, and the drugs don't care about the colorization of the uniform encasing the souls. It don't, because I've seen drugs affect every soul being around me out here in various shades of uniform colorization. Okay, every shade. But these things here, they set the environment. That's what I want to say. They set the fucking environment that we're in. They do. Believe it or not, they set the environments that we're in. They set what we do, how we do it, and everything. They make our routine. Okay.
Without the head of the household present, I can become the head and influence the children without too much resistance.
First of all, this thing, wicked, roams the earth, devouring, destroying. The God of this earth is wicked, Lucifer, Satan. They wrote it down, they let you know. This is what rules here. Here, what I call hell. Okay? That's what it is to me, because I don't know what the fuck y'all see. Here it is. Hell. They give you gods. They give you books talking about their gods, telling you how they fucked you over and got you to this fucking point of still being fucked over. You know. Okay.
Resistance.
So you mean to tell me that your policies are intentionally racist against black people?
Racist? This has got to be the best law I've ever come up with. I can't believe that humans still believe they're different races.
Exactly. Let's go back. You heard what he said. Here we go. Look.
This has got to be the best law I've ever come up with. I can't believe that humans still believe they're different races.
Right. I like to remind folks that come to me and say stupid shit to me because of my uniform, and our uniforms may be similar, and they figure I'm on the same wavelengths, but I'm not. And then I like to say shit like, well, what color is the soul? What color is the soul? And is anybody's soul a different color than anybody else's soul? And the mockery in that shit is when you open up, every uniform is the same. Nobody notice that? When you open every fucking uniform, it's the same. So the encasement is irrelevant. The soul in the uniform is the importance. And what that soul chooses in that uniform is the importance. And that's it. Not the encasement. Okay. But then again, I tell y'all, going down the rabbit hole on this colorization of the uniforms and the dilution of the uniforms, because I don't understand how they use the dilution of the uniforms to build hate with the souls. You feel me?
But to answer your question, yes. It has always been my policy to target and isolate a group of people. And out of all my strategies, this skin color thing has worked the best.
And that fucker never lied. And I'm still over here in amazement, like how? How in the fuck did the colorization of the uniforms be the most thing that causes the destruction and the division of the souls, when the soul is supposed to be the most important thing, not the encasement? Okay.
I definitely want to keep white people and black people separated. As long as I can keep black people bitter and white people offended, I'm good. Hopefully black people will never forgive. That way I can continue to use them.
Okay, what? My question is...
And also, why does it ultimately come to this black and this white? Okay? Because when they say this black and this white, it puts all of the colorizations against each other, because in the dilution of what would be the richer color of the suit, in the dilution, all the dilutions in between, it keeps the souls in division because they're focusing on the colorization of the encasement of the souls. That's dumb as fuck. That's like you got a plant. You got a plant and another plant, and the plant is mad because of the pot you put it in. And the pot should have been that color. Okay.
The question is, what role, if any, does your administration play in this black on black crime epidemic?
Well, as great as my administration is, we can't take all the credit for this.
They need to take all the credit for any type of physical violence, harm, or any type of threat to the soul based on the environment or the colorization of the uniform. It's all attributed to these fucks, to the wicked fucks. Every negative, wicked, depressional, whatever the fuck, it's all because of them. Because if we weren't supposed to be here, we weren't supposed to be manipulated, we wasn't supposed to be experimented on, and we're here, where we're manipulated, where we're experimented on, where we're in a big giant fucking experiment, then they are the root of all of our troubles. And they have manipulated us and blinded us. So we can't see past the bullshit that they give us. And so we fall in line with the bullshit that they give us.
help us tremendously by boarding.
Dumb people help them tremendously. And that's of every colorization of the uniforms. The ignorance helps them tremendously. The not wanting to find truth helps them tremendously. The not knowing the love of the souls is the most important helps them tremendously. When they can get you to focus on anything outside of that helps them tremendously. Just because you in that fishbowl, in that dome, in that locked environment, don't mean you have to be locked in to what they give you.
Boarding so many of their babies, they allow us to bring death to their communities. As the Bible says, they sow the wind and reap a whirlwind.
When implementing all of these policies, do you ever face any resistance or pushback? And if so, from who?
One group in particular try to oppose every policy I try to implement.
Okay.
I would be so much further along in my agenda if it wasn't for them.
Really? So what group is that?
Those pesky, born-again Jesus followers.
And there you go. And that's how you see how they manipulate the beings. Because they got this thing right here telling you that Jesus, the Christians, one of the gods that they gave you, that this one here distorts their plan. No. Every religion, I don't give a fuck if you Muslim, Buddha, Israelite, whatever in the fuck, whatever it is they wrote down in any fucking book, whatever they gave you to call a god, to bow down and to worship, whatever the fuck it is part of their plan to fuck you up, including your Jesus. Mad if the fuck you want to, but it's real, including your Jesus. Anything they give you to take you outside of you is their plan. Especially that water walker.
They're a real thorn in my side.
There ain't no thorn and nothing wicked side. That's the helpmate, okay? Religion is the helpmate. Anytime they got you bowing and begging and praying and crying to anything, that's the helpmate. That's why I question, how we all keep trying to find the name of the one that gave us a soul, and why is we trying to find the name if not to worship and pray and bow to that? And I don't think we need to be worshiping and praying and bowing when we're the children of all existence, of everything. I think it's a bigger thing. It's a deeper thing, We don't need to be bowing and praying. We are born and given the truth, but then we're manipulated and drugged and fucked up so we're away from the truth. And then they give us all these scenarios and skits and shit that lead us back to their religion, to one of their gods, to something else to keep us distorted and fucked up. Alright.
Every generation, they come together and try to dismantle one of my signature policies. Now, I've convinced half of the world that Jesus didn't exist, and the other half.
And they don't. Jesus, I feel, is a fictional character back in my own studying and everything, I thought it was like a metaphor, like basically telling us who we are. You know what I'm saying? Putting the truth in the lies, putting the truth in those books, in the lies, you know, showing us who we are, and then giving us a character that's supposed to be all of us, and then telling us this character is the only way we can get to our higher understanding and our higher learning is to go through this character. When in all reality, we don't have to go through no characters, because we are the children of what these fictional books try to give us. We are the soul beings. We're the children of the soul maker. Okay.
The half that he wasn't divine, but I can't seem to convince them. They seem hell-bent on telling everybody about him and spreading his message. Some of them believe he's coming to unseat me in this generation. Crazy, huh? I'll tell you, those idiots are really messing with my legacy.
So, Lucifer, how does that make you feel when us idiots say that Jesus possibly could be coming back in this generation to unseat you?
Y'all been saying that for centuries.
Right.
I just use it as motivation to get as much of our agenda pushed through. And
Exactly. They go truth in plain sight. Cause this one, though, ain't nobody finna come flying out the heavens, out the skies and show you shit. And when they do, it's gonna be CGI and holograms. And I done showed y'all that you can smell, touch, and feel and all type of shit with the holograms. And that's when the fuck finna go down. A hologramic show for your ass. For all the ones still following after the religicals, the books, and everything else that they gave you, where they finna give you a sky show. And then you gonna feed them when they drop, like the lovely yellow golden army, the golden light, when they come down in the true form of energy, because that's what we all are. The soul is energy. So when they come down in the true form, without all of this here bullshit right here, what they show you, when they come in their true form, because they told you to love the true form, the halo, the golden light. They told you to love that. So when it falls down, because they gave you that whole script, and you've been dying over it, crying over it, leading your life over it, you're going to feed it. You're going to feed it. And a lot of you ain't going to have a choice because y'all chipped. It's just as simple as that. Y'all not going to have no choice. And they still got so many of you manipulated that y'all don't even need a chip. Y'all still going to receive them in their true form and love them. And I'm just hoping that, you hear me and you realize we're energy. In our true form, we don't look nothing like these uniforms. In their true form, they don't look nothing like that. Ain't no horns. It's golden energy. They flicker red and blue. Why you think that color is so popular with them? Why you think the police cars got red? Why you think the planes in the sky red and blue lights? Why? Because they're in the sky too. And they flicker in the energy. It's red and blue. Their true form is a golden light. When they make that sky show and they send down the heavenly host, you're going to feed it. Because you're going to feed the form.
And deceive as many people as possible before he returns. I think I've done pretty well. My record speaks for itself. About 150,000 people die each day. And most of them don't know Jesus.
And you know what? They say over 150, whatever he said, people die each day. And this was years ago, so this was before COVID. Didn't nobody have no mask on? Wasn't no sanitizer. I'm just saying.
150,000 people. Whew. Well, you know what? This concludes our interview. I want to say thank you for an open, honest, pretty frank discussion with.
And first of all, ain't no soul beings of creation. Ain't nobody like me gonna be sitting and talking to one of these entities in whatever color is and uniform and put on and be thanking it about shit. Cause y'all know my motto is fuck a devil. Period. Alright, I just had to say that.
Discussion with me. Is there any last words you would like to leave with our viewing audience?
Yes. I'd like to take this moment and give a special thank you to two groups of people. First, I want to say thank you to all my followers. You are the hands and feet of my administration, and we could do nothing without you. Keep up the good work spreading my message. Keep up the good work. There's really no rush to tell people about Jesus. You all have plenty of time.
The war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled into the earth. And his angels with him. And I like to remind people of that too, because, there's a lot of angel love going on and shit, And yeah, when I look at the story about the third, I'm like, okay, so just a third. So to me, all I'm hearing is what saw our creation, everything that saw our creation, every soul being that saw our creation wasn't down with what the fuck went on with this one. But the one that created all of us let everyone have free will. And because wicked manipulated the free will here in this place, it's not our Creator's fault. All free will has to be free and choose. And in this existence, when we did have our free will, we gave it up. And I see that happening more and more each day here while I'm here. And I've only been here in this realm for 53 years. And in my 53 years, I've seen us give up our soul being over and over again. So I can understand how we was manipulated. And I don't fault the one that gave me a soul for that. I fault the creation. And if we look around, the creation is continuing to do the same thing as they line up, mask up, and become part of that damn family. Lucifer's race. And that's the end of my live, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all be safe out here.